CHUWI has their all-new Hi10 X1 Windows 11 2-in-1 tablet PC. Now, this doesn't come with the keyboard. It's sold separately, but we do have it here that CHUWI sent both of them out. This is a keyboard case we'll check out in just a moment. On the back, it mentions the model number, which is CW1641, a 10.1-inch touchscreen with a 1280 by 800 resolution. Ah, darn. I wish it was 1080p. That would have been nicer, but the show must go on. The dimensions here, as well as it running a Intel processor N100 with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of internal storage. Here's everything that comes in the box, including a USB-C wall outlet and the warranty card, where if you go inside, it'll mention that there's 1 year of coverage, but it may require you to show like a proof of purchase, so you have to buy it directly from CHUWI, otherwise it may not count. On here, it mentions the resolution again, as well as Intel N100. And the other thing to note here is that there are actually 2 layers of protective film, so this part, and there is a screen protector that it comes with pre-installed. In this box is the keyboard and the case, which are 2 separate pieces, and there is a flap that's used as a kickstand on this one. So I'm going to put that on in just a second. Then in here is the keyboard. The keyboard feels more lighter than the case itself, which is interesting. It has this like kind of faux leather finish. It's like nice and soft back here. And then here is the actual magnet piece. I wonder if that's on backwards. So what's interesting is that the flap is backwards on here, like upside down. I thought this was a defect. And, you know, CHUWI kept coming back to me, or whoever it was that I'm working with on this, and they kept saying that this is normal. Like, you see this? The flap is just backwards completely, so you got to kind of move it upwards and then put the tablet on top, and then it sticks in place. And I see that it's on right here, so that's kind of an interesting design. I thought it would be easier if it's flipped around so that it can be a little more versatile, because this is kind of still in one spot. Because if you move it around a little bit, I guess it's staying on pretty well, so there's that. So essentially, just out of the box, I know that this is really meant for someone who's looking for something portable here, maybe for school. I would say that's really the main selling point of this. For school is what you'd be looking at, because it's running an Intel N100, and that's not really good enough for, maybe it'll play a few games, which we'll test out here, including some Steam games. But yeah, really meant for basic tasks like going on web browsing, typing up documents, even some presentations. Not really video editing or anything along those lines, because that would be too high-end or too much for the processor to handle. But yeah, you don't really see a lot of these like portable 2-in-1 10.1-inch like Windows tablets anymore. It's not as common as it was. But yeah, and I do have the case on here, so that's why it looks pretty thick. This case pretty much, it's really meant for this, because there's a lot of holes and stuff. Including on the back, there's this area for the fan to exert that hot air from it. So if you were to use another 10.1-inch like case, it would not be good. I mean, yeah, pretty much. And this is actually relatively thick for a 10-inch tablet. So, I mean, on the side, we got some ports here, including a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is nice to see. There is a kickstand back here. I forgot to kind of show. But yeah, this is kind of versatile. It can be adjusted in different levels, so that's nice. And then on the bottom, it's pretty much open for the magnets to connect it to the keyboard. And then on the other side, we got some more ports, including the LED indicator on whether or not it's on or charging. And by the way, you can use any USB-C cable, and this will charge it. On the top, we have the power button, volume keys, and then another area for, I guess, cooling or for the exhaust to come out. One of these might be some speakers. I'm not exactly sure where it's emitting from. We'll test that out in just a moment. And then this one has a rear camera this time and a front-facing camera. Not a lot of Windows laptops have that, but tablets do. The camera on here is surprisingly a little bit better than the VigoBook G7 I tested out not too long ago, which is like $400, and this is half the price. So that's definitely a good sign. Nothing crazy though still. This is good enough for Skype calls or something along those lines. Yeah, not too grainy, not bad at all, actually a little better than I expected. And then the rear camera, what I'm looking for here is when I take photos of, let's say, some notes, is it legible like the back of this box here for the sound core? And it is. I can read pretty much everything on here, which is really nice, from the smallest font here. That's impressive. And some of you might be wondering, why does it even matter? Why would a rear camera even matter? Well, for school, It's great to have a rear camera to take notes from someone in class, and I'm not condoning cheating, by the way. I'm just saying if you miss out a day in school or something, then you can just copy your friends' like notes or whatever it is. And then the other nice thing is this is detachable, so it makes it easier to take those pictures. And again, just easy to carry around. That's really what this has going for it. Watch, it certainly feels anything but that. So the speakers are okay. It feels like there's just one speaker emitting from two sides because there's two speaker grills. It's a cheap way to make it more immersive, but I guess it's immersive nonetheless. I prefer to have front-facing speakers at that point. That would be better than having it on the side or even on the back. And watching videos is all right on here. It's nothing too impressive or crazy. It does get decently bright. I mean, it's just on par or average, maybe even slightly below average if this is 250 nits, but this is not going to be enough to use outside or outdoors in daylight. Out of the box, there's 209 gigabytes out of 237 gigabytes free. It's really not enough space for a lot of games or anything, but again, that's why I keep mentioning that this is a viable option for school and school only, or maybe for something at home, I guess. Here's some more info on CPU-Z. And yeah, I know everything is pretty low end on here, nothing to be really impressed by. It's Intel N100, which is pretty old, I'd say, at this point. There is a newer version that has Intel N150 that I'll be checking out, so stay tuned for that. I'll see if that's any better. But yeah, I did do some benchmarks, and I actually had to take screenshots because it didn't save on here. The stress test, the multi-thread, was getting around 1290. This never finished, but it was staying around this level, so I don't know how long that's supposed to exactly take, but I want to say it was at least an hour or something, so I'm not sure what was going on there. And then the benchmark score right here, it was 1264 by 361.6. So I really have nothing to compare this against, but 361 does sound kind of low to me. For the Cinebench scores, we got a single core score of 869. Surprisingly, that was not the lowest one in the single core ranking, which was kind of shocking to me. But the multi-core score being 2960 was at the lowest level, or it did underperform every other like CPU here, including the Intel i7, which is to be expected. Despite all that, having 8 gigabytes of RAM and, again, just everything seems like it's sufficient. Everything's relatively smooth. I haven't noticed any delays or lag, really, much of anything. I haven't really spoken about the keyboard and trackpad much, but there's not much to say besides the trackpad being really nice and smooth to use around navigate. You can use multi-touch to zoom in and out on things. The other cool thing is that there's two buttons here. There's a right click button and then left click as well. On the bottom here, there's really no indentation to kind of mark it off or split it. But either way, it's nice. And then the keyboard is a little small to my liking. It's very responsive, no issues there. But yeah, just a little too small. I wish it was maybe a little bit bigger, but I guess you can only go so big at the length or width here. First game here is Helltaker, and what's interesting is that Roblox did not load on here, which was interesting. I've only noticed this problem once before. So, yeah, take that how you will. Okay, died unfortunately. But yeah, no problems here with Helltaker, so some simple 2D games will be running just fine. Let's go. We got Roblox downloaded finally. So you got to do it through the internet, not through the Windows App Store, because that was worthless. But anyways, moving forward, looks like everything's loading up here. It's going to take just a moment. And as expected, Roblox is running just fine. I would even argue it's running smoother than the other ones I've tested it out on, the other laptops that have Intel N100, which really shouldn't make a difference because it's essentially the same thing, I would assume. But yeah, overall, you can do some light gaming here. Again, great for school, albeit this is a little bit probably heavier and thicker than the average tablet you'd be expecting. But nonetheless, a decent option. The one thing that's a deal breaker for me, at least, is the battery life. Now, I tested this out, and I got an hour and a half with 30% left at the end. That's really not that much, and brightness was at like 15 or 16%. So the battery life is just awful on here. I'm not sure if there's going to be an update to optimize this better down the line. Hopefully there would be, but I'm not sure since it's Windows, so we'll have to just wait and see. But either way, that's a deal breaker in my opinion, and that's not worth it. But if you are going to have a power volt or like a wall outlet nearby, then it should be fine. Probably, you know, just like a lot of other laptops, you just plug in and just keep it plugged in and use it. But I was hoping that wouldn't be the case with this because, again, it's a tablet, a 2-in-1, so it should be a little bit easier to do everything. But yeah, that's really a deal breaker in my opinion. What do you guys think? Is this something you'd pick up? Let me know in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more as I'll be checking out the new N150 or the one with the N150 processor for 2025. As always, guys, thanks for watching.